Alright, welcome back, Dolphiones fans. So we got week 8 of the PGBL, and I'm sorry that I haven't been posting this week. It's been really busy, and there were technical difficulties last stream where I usually get my battles. I hopefully should be posting other battles other than PGBL next week, if the stream today goes well. But today we have playing the 4-3 Kentucky Typhlosions, who are biting on my heel in our conference, the more powerful Eastern Conference. Yeah, this is a big one because I have two people below me. I'm third in the conference. I need to be in the top 4, but the two people below me is this guy and the Brobats we lost to in, I think, week 3. So, yeah, this is a really important matchup, obviously, for playoffs. Yeah, there's my team. You guys probably recognize it by now. A very, very offensive-oriented draft with a lot of different, threats to potentially shoot my opponent. The captain of which has been MrChabry, who's kind of swept quite a few teams, if you recall. So, my opponent's draft, however, is kind of on the other end of the spectrum. It is very bulky. He has a lot of defensive, bulky Pokemon. For example, the Toxapex, which obviously is the highlight of the team. He has Zapdos, who can be very bulky. He has Seismitoad. He has Scrafty, who I used in the NGDL. It's kind of like a bulky set because he can have Intimidate. And he has very good defenses. He has Goodra, who I've, of course, used in the NGDL 1, and a little bit of the NGDL 2 before I transacted away. Very good, bulky Pokemon. Whimsicott just adds, another layer with the prankster nonsense. He has Lantern. He has Mega Scizor. He can run bulk. Just a lot of scary things. And he has, of course, those two Pokemon. He has his namesake Pokemon at the end. Yeah, I'm anticipating a very bulky chess match type game. There's the teams. I'm not 100% really, confident going in this game because I know that, this stall that he's going to try to use is going to slow down my offensive powers, and if I get into a battle of attrition, it's not going to be good. But that's okay. Hopefully I can get some quick KOs. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Darmanitan. He leads with the Zapdos. It's actually a really, really strong lead for him. One that I was hoping he wouldn't make. I'm just going to go ahead and U-turn. I really can't afford to lock myself in a Flare Blitz, even though I know it would do good damage. I don't think it would kill the Zapdos, so I'm just going to go into my Tapu Bulu. I know that this thing is probably going to carry Heat Wave because obviously I have to, Grass types as one of my 2 highest tiered Pokemon. But yeah, he's just going to go for the Thunderbolt, not over-predicting. I don't take that, I actually take that a little worse than I would have liked. It did a little more than I would like, so that tells me maybe it's an offensive Zapdos. But I'm just going to go into my Darmanitan again, just to see if he's going to Heat Wave. I have the Resistance. Instead he Volt Switches, I'm like, alright, I see Thunderbolt, I see Volt Switch. I'm anticipating Defog probably on that set, and Roost. So maybe he doesn't have Heat Wave, so in the background I'm like, okay, would be a weird choice. But Volt Switch is definitely a move I did not expect to see. Expecting him to obviously have Defog and Roost. Anyway, in comes his Toxapex. And this thing is obviously what I've been prepping for all week because this thing getting around it is a pain. MrChabry is like my only Pokemon I have that can reliably take care of Toxapex, really. Unfortunately, my team doesn't have a whole lot of great hard-hitting ground moves or psychic moves. So, yeah, I just have to hope to hit it with electric, and MrChabry is my main way to do that. So in comes Goodra. I decided just to go for the Thunderbolt, not to over-predict, I guess. But no, he's just going to go into Goodra. I mean, I should have probably known this was coming, and that damage is actually lower than I expected. I'm thinking, right now, maybe Assault Vest? So I'm just going to go into my Ferrothorn, and he's just going to go for the Draco Meteor, and that's fine. I know this thing obviously is going to be carrying Flamethrower against me, probably Sludge Wave too, so I don't know where his other moves are going to be, but I know that he's going to have the Flamethrower. Fortunately, though, for me, at -2 special attack, he's not going to be able to kill Ferrothorn with a Flamethrower, especially if it has, bulk invested, so just going to go ahead and set up the Stealth Rocks. I figure they're nice to set up. At the very least, it'll force either his Scizor to come in or his Zapdos to come in and defog. So in comes the Scizor, and I'm like, okay, this thing's going to either set up on me or defog. Either way, I'm just going to go for the Leech Seeds. And no, sorry, that was later, I guess. I go into my Blastoise right away. Okay, right, that was later. Okay, I'm just getting a little confused because this battle is actually kind of long. But now I'm going to my Blastoise, my Mega Blastoise. He's going to go ahead and just U-turn, I believe. So he's going to U-turn out. He sees that I'm coming into Blastoise. It probably tips him off that I'm carrying Hidden Power Fire, but I'm like, okay, whatever. He goes in here to Toxapex. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Mega Evolution because I want to get the extra bulk and power. I just want to get into my Mega form, so I'm just going to go ahead and Mega Evolve and go for the Dragon Pulse here. I brought Dragon Pulse obviously for Goodra, and it's the thing I hit hardest Toxapex with, so I'm just going to go for it. I want to see how much damage this does, because I actually want to, you know, scout whether this thing is specially or physically bulky. And looking at that damage, I'm thinking that it's indeed physically bulky, because it would do, if it was specially bulky, it would do a bit less. So that's actually not what I wanted to see, because yeah, physically bulky Toxapex is something that's going to be really hard for me to get around, just because it means Circuitry is the only thing that can really do it. So I'm going to go to my own Circuitry. I know that Skull did not do much damage last time, but then he gets the crit and the burn. So that's actually really sucky, because I needed to keep Circuitry healthy, because it makes it that much harder to set off a Z Hypnosis, and that crit is really going to hurt. I thought I was going to take that Skull pretty nicely, and then he gets the burn on top of it, which means he can do residual damage if he has, like, Protect or something. So that just was good. So, it was not good. Anyway, so I'm going to actually predict the switch into Goodra here. He went for it last time, so I'm just going to go into my Tapu Bulu, and I'm just going to try to bait the Sludge Wave, so I'm just going to go into my Ferrothorn, but he's going to withdraw as well, and he goes out into Scizor, so that's a weird double switch, and here's when I go for the Leaf Sheets. I don't know if he's either going to defog or try to set up. And he ends up going for the Curse, which is interesting. I've actually never considered Curse on Scizor, but I think it can work if you want, like, instead of the Swords Dance, you want, like, the extra bulk, which I guess is what he wants. Obviously, the speed typically doesn't hurt him because of Bullet Punch being Scizor's primary move. And now I know I have to switch out. He's trying to set up on me. Fortunately for me, it's not quite as dangerous Swords Dance, so I can switch out this turn, and he'll still only be at +2 attack instead of +4, potentially. So, yeah, the other nice thing is now I know for a fact my my Mega Blastoise can outspeed this Scizor. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Hidden Power Fire. It's kind of predictable, I think. He's probably going to, like, expect it, but I'm like, you know, I have to go for it. I'm hoping to, you know, I'm hoping that he has enough setup that he doesn't want to switch out and just wants to risk it. And he indeed does stay in, which I was kind of surprised at, but I'm not going to complain. Getting rid of this Mega Scizor early on is definitely nice, because it can do a lot of mean things to my team, including the Priority Bullet Punch, which could now potentially stop a Circuitry sweep. So, yeah, that's pretty nice. And in comes his Zapdos now. It's obviously threatening me with Thunderbolt. And I'm just going to go in my Ferrothorn. I think he's definitely going to go for the Thunderbolt here. And like I said, now I'm starting to wonder, does this guy even have Heat Wave? And I'm like, I know that he probably has Heat Wave, but I'm like, I've seen 2 moves. I know he's going to carry Roost. That's like a given. He has to carry Roost. And Defog, maybe, right? No, he carries Heat Wave. So that was not good for me. I tried to, you know, I tried to, like, make the read, and read wasn't there. I should have tried to just bait the Heat Wave one more time before I really felt comfortable with this thing not carrying it. But he played it pretty well, bluffing that he might not have Heat Wave, and then he's able to take out my Ferrothorn, which sucks. But anyway, in comes my Donphan, and I believe I just go for the Rock Slide. I was trying to get rid of that Zapdos, but he's going to make that perfect read going to Toxapex. Would have been great to EQ there on the switch, although we already know this is physically bulky Toxapex, so it wouldn't have killed it, but it would have done some nice damage. Unfortunately, this thing is really annoying now with Regenerator, and like I said, I kind of need a free switch now in a Circuitry to check this thing, because at this point, yeah, I don't want to take any additional damage on Zerk. So he's just going to go for the Toxic. He knows that I don't want to switch in Zerk anymore because of that crit he got earlier. So yeah, he's going to get the Poison off on my Tapu Bulu. I'm hoping this guy does not have a Poison move. I kind of figured it might, but I'm just going to go ahead and sub, see what he does. He goes for the Recover, so now he's at, like, full HP. Unfortunately, even with the sub, I didn't actually bring Swords Dance on this Tapu Bulu. I actually carried Hidden Power Fire on this thing because I wanted to bait Scizor with this guy. Yeah, it doesn't really help me against Toxapex. I carried Hidden Power Fire on 2 guys because I figured he would try to switch in Scizor against my Tapu Bulu, and that never really happened. But I wish I had Swords Dance now, because if I could have gotten an SD up, this could have been so much better. But I don't. I don't have an SD up. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out because he can pretty much stall me forever. So in comes my Circuitry. I'm hoping that he will, you know, I guess recover, but he's going to go ahead and switch himself into Chandelure. And this is probably going to be Scarfed, and I really can't afford to lose my Circuitry. And I guess it makes sense him going to Chandelure, because this thing probably has Infiltrator, which can obviously break the sub, or go around the sub. And he's just going to switch it out now. So at least I forced that thing to take some Stealth Rock damages. And I'm also going to switch out because I'm fearing the Scarf, and I don't want to lose my Circuitry. So in comes my Tapu Bulu again, who gets matched up against this here Goodra, who almost certainly has Sludge Wave, and now that I lost my Ferrothorn, he has no reason not to go for it, so I just gonna switch out. I don't want to lose Bulu. I go into my Blastoise, and I do that because I know I can take at least one Sludge Wave, and hopefully scare him away, because he already knows I have, like, Dragon Pulse, so yeah, I take that Sludge Wave really nicely, which tells me this thing is probably bulk invested. I still don't know if it's Assault, I mean, I'm kind of assuming right now it's Assault Vest, because I don't see, like, Leftovers or Life Orb or anything else, and I know it's not Scarfed or Specs, probably, so, yeah. Anyway, he's just going to go for, I'm going to go with the Dragon Pulse, rather. He goes out into Toxapex again, and unfortunately, this thing, even though it is physically bulky, not especially bulky, can take 2 of those, and that sucks. So in comes my Tapu Bulu again. I don't really know why. I guess I'm just figuring, I don't know, this is probably the best thing to come in. But no, he's going to go ahead and switch out for Regenerator again and go into Whimsicott, which is something I was also kind of worried about, because this thing can wreak havoc, obviously, with Tailwind, and he can status my team with Stun Spore. This thing is just a major pain, and obviously he can outspeed everything, so yeah, I'm just gonna, he goes for the Defog, so he has the Defog on the Whimsicott. I should have realized that the Zapdos did not have Defog because he has 2 other potential Defoggers on the team, but I kind of forgot Whimsicott even got Defog, but whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and Stone Edge, because it's neutral, and unfortunately it's not a 2-hit KO. This is bulky Whimsicott. He has definitely bulk investment. By calculations, that Stone Edge should have been a 2-hit KO if he was you know, one of the Trickster, you know, not bulky sets, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Horn Leech now, and I don't even know why, because I guess I wanted some HP back this turn. Instead, he just goes for the Moon Blast, so he has 1 attacking move, which is kind of strange for Whimsicott, actually, but whatever, and I think Tapu Bulu is now going to die to the poison, and down it goes. I did get this thing kind of weakened, but unfortunately, he's probably going to carry the Z Memento. This is one of his Z Captains. I'm going to go out into my Hawlucha, though. It's like, at this point, he is winning this chess match. And there's the Stun Spore, unfortunately. I do set up a Swords Dance. I do have the Unburden, so even after the Paralysis, I'm probably still going to outspeed his entire team, aside from maybe this Whimsicott. He could Moonblast me here, or he could Z Memento to try to get something in that has full HP, probably a Zapdos. So there's the Z Memento, instead of going for the Moonblast, which, actually, I don't know. This thing, I think, can still outspeed Hawlucha. I think he has a higher base speed. So I basically have 9 normal speed right now, which I did actually bring enough speed to outspeed his entire team, because I know how Lucha could outspeed his entire team, aside from this Whimsicott, I believe. But either way, yeah, just get the Swords Dance off. And he is going to go into his Zapdos, and the Z Memento, so basically I'm now at neutral attack, and the Z Memento is going to heal him. Now he has to believe that I'm carrying Stone Edge. I actually did not bring Stone Edge on my Hell Edge. I should have, because of this Zapdos. But I don't know. I decided to go for a Tailwind on the set, so I could potentially maybe Tailwind for something else, but that sucks. And I'm gonna get paralyzed here. He's actually was probably just scouting to see if I had Stone Edge. So actually, that not the worst thing in the world that got paralyzed there, because he would have obviously seen that I don't have Stone Edge. Now I can just go for Acrobatics. And he's going to withdraw now back into Zapdos, I guess kind of scouting to see if I have it again. He went for the Haze. I was going to go ahead and set up Swords Dance again, and I'm like, well, he still doesn't know if I have Stone Edge or not, so maybe he'll switch out again. I can just go for Acrobatics. I mean, obviously Acrobatics is probably my safest move anyway. This guy resists high jump kick as well, and down goes my Hawlucha because he does not go for that twice. In fact, he look, according to the calc, Stone Edge at +2 actually doesn't kill bulky Zapdos, assuming that's bulky Zapdos and not offensive. It might actually be offensive. So it might have killed, but this time he decided not to bait the Stone Edge, instead just kill me, which is a good play. I do a good 50%, but that's about it. But yeah, now we're at a real problem here. We still have Xurkitree, but he still has that Goodra, and Xurkitree just has to be now or never, right? We need to sweep with Xurkitree or we just lose. That's pretty much it. The things that can outspeed Xurkitree that are both dead, so we got rid of the We got rid of his Pokemon that could outspeed with the priority, Whimsicott and Scizor. So just gonna go for that Z Hypnosis. I have to hit because this Goodra is way too bulky, even with Dazzling Gleam, and I don't. And looking back on it, I could have went for another Hypnosis here, but it actually wouldn't have mattered. I just go for a Dazzling Gleam instead, and that does less than half, and he's going to kill me now. So there is pretty much the game. The Z Hypnosis missing actually didn't matter, though, as much as you might think. I mean, if it hit, it would have revealed that he has the Chesto Berry, so he goes for the rest, and he does have the Chesto Berry, so he would have obviously been able to, Even if it did hit. So there was an excellent set. This was not Assault Vest. It was just straight, specially bulky. I think it's Max Special Defense Gutra with the Chesto to counter my Z Hypnosis Xerxes, which has been tearing up the PGBL. So that's an excellent prep work by him. And I would have had to hit with 2 Hypnosises in order to potentially get the sweep here. Down goes my Mega Blastoise. So yeah, that sucks. I'm hoping to get one more kill here with Darmanitan. So I can maybe bring it down to a 3-0. I just go for the Flare Blitz. It's resisted by Gutra, but knowing that this thing is max specially bulky, I'm hoping to still take it out, and I do. But down goes the Gutra. At least I can take that out. Unfortunately, he still has the Pex. And the Chandelure, which also resists Flare Blitz. So this game's over. Well played, MrChabry. I knew that this was going to be a rough one coming in, just because of the bulk of your draft. I mean, it was very good at slowing down the offensive threats that I drafted. Which is hopefully not going to become a trend. We're going to drop to 5-3, and my friends, this is brutal. This is not a good situation. After starting 5-1, dropping to 5-3, and mind you, as I mentioned last battle against Visually, we have to rematch Visually, and this guy is now 8-0. He beat me in the first one. It was actually pretty close. It was a closer match than this one, honestly. But let's take a look at the standings, and I'll highlight my remaining schedule. We have 3 games to go. Next week we have the rematch against the Sissy Scissors, now 8-0. Then we have to play the New England Evolutions there, sitting at 5-2. Because they have, I guess they haven't, as of the last update, they haven't updated their last week yet. And then we have, of course, the 5-2 Texas Rangers, who also might have not updated yet. So who knows if they won in week 7? Because, in week 8. But yeah, that's going to be a rough schedule. That's a hard schedule. It's absolutely brutal. So next week is basically a must-win, because if you take a look at the standings there, we don't know what happened to the Brobats this week yet, but the only saving grace is that differential seems to be the first tiebreaker, because even though Kentucky beat me, I'm still 3rd and they're 4th, because I have the 9 differential, he has the 3. But it is going to be a rough go in the next 3 weeks, and I need to win, potentially 2 out of 3, in order to make the playoffs with the crazy differential in conferences. If I would have been in the Western Conference, take a look at the Western Conference. Look how weak it is. If I was in a different conference, man, I would be just cruising. But yeah, you have to play who you are matched up against. Both the Brobats and the Typhlosions are obviously going to play really well at the end of the season. The Typhlosions, by the way, get to replay the Motown Marowaks, which are the only Ayla, the only winless team in the league. And I didn't even get to play them once. But oh well, that's they gave the harder schedule to the new guy. I understand that. Yes, Ayla, clap. But yeah, very great game there, MrChabry, and we have work cut out for us in the next 3 weeks. Anyway, today's question of the day is going to be, knowing the current standings and my remaining opponents, and our last 2 weeks, how do you think the Miami Dolphiones are going to finish 3 weeks out? With the Cincy Scissors next week, the undefeated Cincy Scissors, with a fat 32 differential, the New England Evolutions, the Texas Rangers. Will we make the playoffs? What's their standings going to look like? Am I gonna, go from 5-1 to 5-6 to finish? That would really be demoralizing. I really hope not. But yeah, leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.